Hello, everyone. I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and this is Creating an Inspired Life. I'm a medium as well as a life coach, and my passion, my purpose is to help you live your best life. And really what I end up doing most of the time, it's kind of interesting, with the readings and with the coaching, is I help people solve their problems. I help them look at their problems in a different way, take different action to get past whatever issues the problems are solving. And it really is my pleasure to do this, and I do it all of the time, every day, almost all day long. Helping other people get rid of their crap is awesome. Today's radio tip, the coaching tip of the day, is all about the path of least resistance. And this idea, of course, came to me when I was in the shower because I was watching the water going down the walls of the doors. And as I was watching the water, I noticed it, no matter where it started from the top, usually at the bottom, it would combine together. The different streams would combine together. For whatever reason, the water found it easier to go down that path. And that was the path of least resistance. And as I was thinking about this, I realized this is a lot very similar to how we experience life in so many different ways. Many of us take that easier path, the path of least resistance, a path that may be well traveled through our habits or our avoidance tendencies. When we have a problem, have you ever noticed this? It's craziness. When we have a problem, we try to avoid being uncomfortable. So what we do is we stick to the path that we know rather than trying to create a new way or go in a new direction. If we're resisting something, a negative emotion, a negative situation, whatever it is, we will do anything we can to avoid confronting it. Now, there are some people out there who are very good about confronting their problems, but the vast majority of us are not quite as good as those people are. We'll end up doing the same things, we'll react the same way, we'll say the same things, we'll experience the same things because it's so much easier than confronting the truth of whatever it is that's making us go down this path of least resistance. Unfortunately, sometimes, and maybe always, I'm not sure yet, the easiest way is not the best way. We think it's keeping us safe. We think it's controlling our lives, protecting us from something, making us feel better. But frequently that path can create more issues in our lives. If we're acting out of habits or avoidance, we might actually be setting ourselves up to experience even more pain and more struggle. My friend Marie, who I've talked about in the past, and with her full knowledge, has a hard time stepping off of that easy path. She truly dislikes conflict, and so will suppress herself and not speak her truth. She's resisting the possibility of being uncomfortable in honest conversations. So her path of least resistance is avoidance. If she doesn't address the problems, maybe they'll go away. Some of you may have also experienced a similar method of trying to handle your problems. One of my clients last week was complaining on and on and on about being stuck in a rut, stuck in negative situations. But yet she wasn't willing to take responsibility to change how she was feeling and react in a different way. She actually told me it was much easier to put up with the negative people than it was to confront the behaviors she didn't like. Family members, for her, in her case, were actually taking advantage of her. They were using her and they wanted money, they'd want her time, they wanted her to drop everything to come over and help them for whatever little problem they had. But then she's finding out they're not there for her when she has a problem. And her easy path is complaining and blaming others, consequently not taking any responsibility for how she feels and what she's creating in her life. Both my friend Marie and my client are not acknowledging or even speaking their truth at all. Have you ever taken that easy way? I'm sure you have, that path of least resistance. You don't stand up for yourself. You make excuses as to why you don't, because it's not going to work anyway. Why bother? It's not going to do any good. But yet you're miserable. You don't speak your truth because you don't want to be uncomfortable. When we resist addressing something difficult, whether it's a tough conversation or just a change in our lives, whatever it could be, it's very natural for us to take the path of least resistance. It is a well-worn path for many of us. We always go down that path because it is easier. And if you'll notice in life, so many of our decisions are actually based on trying to avoid pain and being uncomfortable. So many decisions. If you start looking back on your life, you're going to start seeing some of these. You decide to do something because it's less painful than stepping forward and doing whatever else you're supposed to be doing. But life, as you know, as I always say, it's all about learning and growing so that we can become our best selves. Are we our best selves if we are denying speaking our truth or even acknowledging it? If we're not taking responsibility for our own happiness? If we're not standing up for ourselves? My friend Marie is going through some anxiety because she knows she needs to take further action, but she's not doing it. My client doesn't feel like herself anymore because she's not being true to herself. And in allowing people to take advantage of her, she's actually starting to feel like a doormat. People are just always asking her for things, and it seems like they're not paying attention to who she is as a person anymore, just what they can get out of her. Eventually, what happens, though, in our cases, is that the pain of not speaking out, not speaking the truth, will outweigh the pain of the temporary discomfort. That temporary discomfort will start to build and build and build, and knowing you have to do something, eventually you're going to go, I've got to take care of this. I've got to do something. Marie will recognize the only way out of her anxiety is to speak her truth. And my client will realize the only way she can resist these people using her will be when she recognizes who she really is and what she desires. We always have control over our path. We always do. We don't have to follow the easy path, especially if it's one that tries to protect us, but really instead causes us to deny ourselves, deny our truths, lose track of who we are. But here's an interesting thing. I've got some news for you. If you don't take care of this problem, if you're experiencing something like this, you don't take control of your life. Life is going to take care of it for you. Your life will start to fall apart. Things will fall apart. You may end up getting sick because you're suppressing yourself so much. You may find out that you lose your job and it's the job you didn't really like anyway, and you probably should have done something about it, but you didn't do anything about it. And so life will somehow make it work out that you get laid off or whatever from your job. Your family and your friends might cross that line and make you so mad you have to say something. So life will make you force this if you don't want to step into it yourself. So if you have any of that nagging sense of discomfort, you're taking the path of least resistance, you're not speaking your truth, think about that. How is it you're not speaking your truth? What is it that you're trying to avoid experiencing? What discomfort, what pain is it? Rather than going down that nice, easy path of least resistance where you don't have to force anything, be uncomfortable, even momentarily, stand in your truth, be brave, figure out what your truth is, say what you have to say, and forge that new path. Just get out there and make a new path. This is the path that's going to help you create your most awesome, unique, inspired life. You might actually find the path of speaking your truth is much better than the easier path of avoidance. In the long run, the path of being true to yourself, who you are, what you want, is always the best path. And that momentary discomfort will pass as you confront whatever it is that's holding you back from creating the life you want to have. So be willing to step into that challenge. And that is my coaching tip of the day. It's interesting where I can get my inspiration. It comes from all sorts of places. So if you want to connect with me, you can find me at psychicmediumcolleen.com, as well as on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzyden, medium and self-empowerment coach. And today, now we are going to go on to our first caller, who is Marie from Quebec in Canada. Marie, how are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm glad you're very good. How can I help you today?
So is it, do I have a question for you?
You can give me a question, or if there's a situation you want to talk about, whatever you want.
Okay, well, talking about professionally. So I'm on a new path, I would say, and I'm good usually to find flow in it, but it's really like a 360 for me. So I would like to see if, I don't know how to word the question. Is it,
Sure.
How do I find flow again?
How do you find your flow again? And
Yeah.
you've turned as I understand it, your career, you've shifted your career and you're doing something
Yes.
different than you did before. That's correct? Okay.
Yes.
And okay. And it's kind of neat, though, I have to say. I know it's a little bit overwhelming, and I know there's a lot going on around you right now. And I know, too, that you've been actually kind of questioning yourself. Have you really been second guessing yourself that this is the right thing for you to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly because people don't know me like that. Some people know me doing this, but most people I know, they don't know me, so it's a shock. So I guess I've been doubting that, okay, maybe it's going to be too hard to create this new, not this new person, because it's still me, but for them, to view me as this.
Yes, I understand. And I have to say, I'm getting such a good feeling about this new career choice, this new path that you're on, even though it's so different. And I know it's a little overwhelming. I know there's just so much going on there. I wouldn't be concerned about what other people think about things. You have so many different skills. You have lots of skills, and they all integrate together. And even though this is a different kind of career for you, everything you knew from the past is still working for you. Everything's still inside you, and everything's still there. I like the challenge of this position, this new whatever you're doing. I like the challenge of it because it's kind of keeping you on your toes, and you have to pay attention to what you're really feeling, and you have to pay attention to the details of things, where before it feels to me that your other position was really kind of too easy for you. Was your other position too easy?
It got easy, yes.
Yeah. And, along with that comes a sense of, yeah, it's okay, but I feel kind of bored with the other thing. I kind of like this challenge. It feels nice to me. It feels like it's taking you someplace different, meeting different people and all that stuff as well. And that's funny. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You've got such a sense of, I don't even know what the word is I want. It's a competency. I'm just going to use that word. It's a little boring for me, but whatever. It's a competency. You can figure out anything. You can make things happen all the time. And for you to sit there doubting yourself, and I understand, I know why you're doubting yourself, just because it's new, and everybody does that, and it's all good. And at the same time, I'm feeling you doing all of these really positive steps. I'm feeling you really paying attention to what's happening around you. And I'm feeling you learning so much that's part of the overwhelm feeling. Are you really learning a lot?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. There's a, okay, where are we? We're in July right now. Even 2 months from now, which I think is too late. I think if I even went 3 weeks from now, I think you're going to feel so much better and so much more in control of what's happening around you. Are you not getting enough sleep? I'm getting a little bit of a feel of not getting enough sleep.
Well, I tried to go to bed earlier.
Okay, good.
So
good.
My body's resting.
Okay, good. Because I get a little bit of, I feel like I'm not getting enough. I don't know if I'm waking up a lot in the night or if I'm just not getting to sleep right away or whatever it is. So you just keep making sure you're doing that and getting enough sleep too. Because as you all know, everybody knows, if you don't get enough sleep, everything's much bigger and a problem is much bigger. So make sure you keep doing that too. Now, there's one more thing I want to talk about. Are you driving yourself to work? Like, are you doing public transportation or are you driving your own vehicle?
No, I'm not driving or anything. I work from home.
Okay, you're going from home. Okay, good. Because then this won't make sense at all. So this is even better because I want to talk about your car. You have a car, yes?
I do have a car, but I don't drive it.
Okay, ever?
I know. I don't ever drive it. I don't have I don't have a driver license. So
Okay. Okay, I love it. Awesome. I love it. Okay. I do want to mention your car though. Okay. So I don't know if somebody else is driving it. I am not a mechanic. I know nothing about cars, but I'm feeling that there's something that needs to be adjusted with it. Okay. And I do want to make sure I get that out there. So if somebody else is driving it, if you haven't had it checked over lately, I might get it checked over just to make sure everything's all okay in there. Okay. It doesn't feel as simple as an oil change. It feels like something else. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I know nothing about cars. So a sensor or something like this. It almost feels like it's related to the, what do you call it? The exhaust system. It almost feels like it's related there. There might be something loose there. So since it came in, I got to tell you, I will tell you anything that pops into my head. So that pops in, so I'll tell that to you as well. So,
Very good.
okay. Good. And like I said, I'll just recap. I feel like you're going to have a great time doing this new stuff you're doing. Just keep doing it. Just keep going, because soon, within weeks, you're going to feel so much clearer and so much more competent, even though you're already competent. You'll feel more of it. Yeah, that's a bad sentence, but you know what I mean. Okay, well, thank you, Marie. That was so nice talking to you. Good luck with everything. Sounds like you're going to have some fun there.
Thank you very much. And it's interesting because while you speak, I can feel the flow coming from you. So I'll trust and I'll keep going.
Good. Yes,
Thank
definitely
you.
keep going. You're welcome. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was Marie from Canada. And it's always so interesting to see what comes in. I told one of my clients today, and I was doing a reading with her, I said, you know what, whatever comes into my head is going to come out of my mouth, no matter what it is, how random or strange it might be, is going to come out of my mouth. So we'll see what I say next to the next person. So now we have Becky from Saskatchewan in Canada. Hi, Becky. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. How can I help you tonight?
I guess I'm just looking for a few answers here. I'm wanting to switch careers. I'm currently doing dog grooming right now. I have a little dog grooming business out of my garage, and I want to switch it to energy healer / teacher.
Okay.
And I'm just
okay. Do you do now? This is interesting because I don't know if you know, but I'm also a healer. And I teach healing classes and all of that. I've been doing it since, I don't know, 2001 or something like this. So I've studied all sorts of healing methods all over the United States. And it is really interesting because when you talked about the dog grooming and then you go to energy healing, I wanted to ask you right away if you're doing any energy healing with the dogs.
Yes, I am actually. I do, but I don't tell the people that I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's a tricky area there, especially if they're not hiring you for that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
There is, I mean, some people might think that's violating some ethic or something. But
it actually helps them.
It does, doesn't it? There's also something else that comes in that is very interesting to me as well. And have you done, and I would assume you have, animal communication?
No.
Okay. You might want to check into that as well, because that also goes in with the healing, because you're actually feeling the energy of the animals, and you might be surprised to find out that you can actually communicate with animals. Okay. I know some people poo-poo that idea, but I've seen enough that I know it's definitely possible.
Yeah,
so
no,
you
I
might
connect
try
pretty well
that.
with animals. Yeah, they
I would
trust me
think
pretty good.
so. And you might try having some experiments and just talk to the animals basically and see what information comes back, because maybe you'll get some things that you could verify with the owners, that you could just ask them just in passing conversation, not that you're prying, but you could ask something. So there is that feeling too. And the reason this all comes in is because you do have a lot of abilities for working with energy. You have a lot of empathy and you have a lot of compassion, I can tell. I can also tell that you're a person that when you make a decision, you really like to step right into it, don't you?
Mm-hmm. But I'm struggling with this because I wanted to do it on people is what I'm wanting to do, is the energy healing on. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I understand that. And I'm feeling a sense of impatience around you.
Yeah.
I want to get there faster. And
now.
Yes. And I want to establish this right away. I don't know how your area is for energy healing, and all of that.
Kind
Or
of
and
foreign language to most of them here.
Okay. So that's going to be definitely an issue or a concern anyway, because you will have to be doing the teaching. You're going to have to explain how to do things, what it is.
Yeah.
You'll want to, this is coming in from somewhere on the other side, but you'll want to kind of pick certain areas you want to help people with first.
Okay.
So I don't know, you might try, what kind of trainings have you had? Have you done Reiki and those things?
Yeah, I did Reiki, access bars, energy medicine, and crystal healing.
Okay. Have you done any quantum touch at all?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay, that might be something to look into as well. And I like the mix of healing modalities that you have. They're a good mix there because there's going to apply to people in different ways. You'll be able to use certain things like crystals. People might resonate with more than just normal, if you want to call it normal, spiritual or energy healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So if you were to pick, somebody having stress, let's just pick stress, because a lot of people have stress, so that, you could advertise stress relief. And that way people would be more open to coming. If you just say, I do energy healing, some people are going to think you're crazy.
They do.
And all of that, So you want to make sure that you can present it in such a way that it works for them. I did sound healing for a long time. And the sound healing made sense to people because I could use tuning forks, and I could say, well, your body operates at a certain vibration when it's healthy, and when it's not healthy, I can use this tuning fork to realign your vibration back to the healthier vibration. And they liked that because it sounded scientific, not woo-woo and crazy. So if you can present
and
it,
I've had that done, and it actually really is awesome.
Isn't it amazing? It really is.
Yeah.
And it helps. So if and if you can somehow get that out there to people, presented in such a way that will help. Now, this impatience you have, you have to. You have to touch into the natural flow, if you will. Everything comes to us, as I know you know, in the right timing. And so you don't want to jump the gun and get too far ahead of yourself. A friend of mine once decided they were going to be a healer, quit their job, and then had no money, like at all.
Yeah, no,
like,
I do not want to do that.
Yeah, so don't do that, obviously. And, and that's part of the reason I think when I keep getting messages for you, it's on the integration of what you already do, kind of tying it in, so then it gradually moves into something else. So there's a way for you to do this. Now, what you might consider doing is teaching a class on stress relief, just for the example of that. Natural healing methods for stress relief, something like that. And you may very well find that people are very interested in that. Now, do you have an online presence as well?
A which? Sorry?
An online presence? Do you have a website? A Facebook
Not really,
page?
No, I got a Facebook page I could make, I guess.
Yeah, so you could start that. You start a page, and maybe what you might want to try is posting, a healing tip of the day. Something they could do to make themselves feel better. Don't give away everything that you've got, of course, but just a little something or a tidbit of something where you say, do you know that your body is made up of energy? And, when you're upset about something, your vibration changes and you might get sick or something, make something up that is legitimate, though, of course, and do that. So you're actually providing guidance for people, and that will help you build up a following and also get you people that are not in your direct area. So try something like that too, and that will really help. There's also around, so it's funny. I love how things just come into my head. And it's, I was looking at like a pamphlet or something, but I don't know that you really need a pamphlet yet. You could do like a 1/3 page or something, a flyer kind of thing, maybe advertising something you're doing. And literally, you've got to use what you've got going right now. So you've got the animals and use that, because we all know that people who have dogs love their dogs and want everybody to be healthy. So if you can tie in, do a class for energy healing for your animals, show them how to do a little something, and then talk about people too, that's going to open a whole new avenue for you as well. So definitely think about that. I know you want to get out of what you're already doing, and I did the exact same thing. I thought, I don't want to do what I'm doing anymore. I just want to move into my new career and everything. And what I ended up doing was integrating what I did, sort of. And, I was a teacher for a long time, a public school teacher, integrating some of this work into what I was doing there so that I could keep having money, because money's important. And so try that. Think about that a little bit. And
what I've
see
been
if
doing is I'll give lots of the owner's stones for the dogs, or else I'll put it on their collars. And I have had a lot of people with really good feedback about the stones on the dogs and how they're working.
Okay, perfect. So that's another opportunity. Tie that in with a class for them as well. Take everything you've got and see how it can go together. And then you can lead into the more of the people stuff. Because once they know what works for their animals, you can believe they're going to tell all of their friends what you're doing. And that's going to help. So it's kind of going in a little bit backwards, but it would work. So definitely think about this and see how you can put it together there. So Becky, it was so nice talking to you. I'm getting my minute warning here, so I'm going to have to let you go. But good luck with everything. Yeah. Have a fun time with it. You're welcome.
I will.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it's so cool, isn't it, to see what everybody wants to do and what they want to create, because we all have dreams and goals. And what happens so many times is when we wake up and we realize that our lives, everything, there's energy in everything we have, then we want to get out there and help people. So if you're one of those people, Google it, figure it out. I do want to thank you for watching and listening today. I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and this was Creating an Inspired Life. You can find me at psychicmediumcolleen.com, as well as on Facebook, Medium Coach. No, I changed it, did it again. Colleen Vanderzyden, a medium and self-empowerment coach. You can find me there. You have a great night, and I will talk to you next week. Goodbye.